Hi everyone, this is Sam Gabriel, and this is part two of the discussion about stitching uh, back-end to front-end communication on a load balancer, such as an F5. In the previous video, we showed the setup of the lab and showed how ExtraHop works and is able to bring together these two pieces to give you that source IP for your client. What I forgot to mention is that you can typically get the source IP easily if you're running the HTTP protocol and you enable exported for headers in the HTTP protocol on the F5 or any other load balancer for that matter. That way, you're able to see the source IP directly in the communication. You can even just have the backend server side connection into the extra hop. You don't even need the front end, and you'll still get the source IP. However, what I'm focused on is really for any protocol, not just HTTP. So if you're looking at another protocol at layer 7, it really doesn't have a similar header to be able to stuff the source IP into. That's why we resorted to the fact that we gotta grab that information from layer 4 from the connections table of the F5 using syslog. So in this video, what we're gonna do is get into a little more detail on how we're doing the grabbing of the syslog message from the F5 using an iRule and also using a trigger on the ExtraHop side to do so.
I tried a few things, wasn't very successful. I tried actually F5 reading around. It tells you that you can actually plug in the source IP into a TCP option, and then from ExtraHop take it out of there. I tried a little bit on the F5, my limited knowledge, but wasn't able to. Um, Another thing I tried is using the REST API off of the F5 or the Netscaler, be able to get the connection table from there. So that it did work, but the problem is when it comes to connections that are short-lived, um, you know, interrogating the REST API is not fast enough to be able to get it. So I settled for logging, just creating this iRule that's in front of you right here. And what it does basically, it grabs information from the session table or the table, the connection table on the F5, and sends it as a syslog to a syslog server that is running in the environment where ExtraHop has a feed. And from there, I can grab the syslog message via an ExtraHop trigger via UPA, and just plug it into the Explore Appliance and be able to pivot from there. So I will show you quickly what it looks like on the ExtraHop. So basically here, first of all, on the F5, this is the iRule. I set up a couple of VIPs, one for SSH, one for web, and in there, um, we're talking to real servers behind the scenes, so behind the load balancer. So the trigger is pretty simple. All I'm doing is I'm actually looking at the UDP payload, and from here, just grabbing the client payload, doing some parsing, creating an object, and in this object I'm getting the client IP, the source port, the VIP, the destination port, and so on. From here, committing it to the EXA, and a new record I call an F5 connection table. Um, so as you can see here, it was running. So this is what it would look like. Basically, an object that will have all that information. So here, this is the real IP that I needed to get. So this is the client IP that's coming to hit the actual VIP, and this is the VIP IP. As you can see, this is the client port they're coming from. This is the destination, so it's port 80 in this case. The SNAT IP, this is the source NAT that happens on the load balancer. So ExtraHop is sitting in this subnet, the 172.16.0/24 subnet, and you'll only be able to see this SNAT IP if you don't do what I'm doing right now. And this is the SNAT port, and then the real server IP that we're hitting is this one on port 8080 for HTTP. So putting all this in one record here and committing it to the EXA, we'll be able to quickly search on the EXA for um, the real IP, the real client IP corresponding to the SNAT that we have in any of the connections. But basically, this record will get committed into the Explore appliance, and we can do the searches on it. Thank you very much.